my project, I chose to learn the bassoon because I have a really big interest in music, and it's been a really big part of my life ever since I joined band in the 6th grade. And I already played the saxophone, and I just really wanted to use this project as a chance to expand my musical repertoire and just learn another instrument. And I also want to kind of branch out, not get necessarily past the woodwind family, but into the double reed side of the woodwind family, which includes the bassoon. And so it's just been something that I really wanted to do for a while, and I'm really glad that I got to use this project as a way to do it. So the first thing you have to learn is how to make a sound on the reed. It's a double reed, which means that there are two pieces of reed flushed up against each other like that. And to make a sound, it needs to be wet, so you put it in your mouth and you let it soak for a while, but I've already done that. So your lips get tucked over your teeth like this, and you just put it in your mouth and you blow, and it should sound like a duck. Alright, so the next thing I had to learn was how to put it together. And so the first thing you start off with is the boot joint, which is the end. It goes on the bottom. And you can identify this one because it has two holes right here at the top, and this one is for the bass joint, and then this one is for the wing joint. And it also, you can tell that there's not a hole in the bottom, so this is the bottom piece. Then you take the tenor and the tenor, which is also the wing joint, that's another name for it, and then the bass joint. They are attached together by a little pin at the top right here, and you can slide them apart or take them apart, but usually it's easier just to keep them together when you're putting it together. And then the reason it's called the wing joint is because this part right here, it lays flush against and around the bass joint. So I'm just going to go ahead and you line them up and put them in the proper size hole, and you push it down. You don't want to push it all the way down to the bottom because it will get stuck, and usually that messes with the tuning of the instrument. And so the next joint and the last joint is the bell joint, which goes on the top, and this side goes up, this is where the sound comes out, and then this side, this right here, has to be lined up with this pin up here, and so that the key will move when, so this hole will close when this key is opened. And that's the body. And then the last part that goes on, actually the last two parts that go on, is your vocal. The vocal is the metal part where the mouthpiece goes. The mouthpiece goes right, or the reed goes right here. And they can vary in curvature, which affects the tone or the tuning, like if it was flat or sharp. And there's a little hole right here with where air comes out right there, and you want to line that up right here with this key so that when the key moves it will close that hole. And then the last part that you put on is the reed. After you learn how to put it together, then you can move on to learning fingerings and how to play notes. So this is the fingering for a B-flat concert. It's about a middle B-flat, and so this is the first note that basically anyone would learn if they're learning an instrument. And this represents, each one of these represents a key on the bassoon, and so when it is shaded in black, that means that you push this key down. So it has right here, it says that I need to press down these three with my left hand. So these are the three that I would push down. And so back here, this one tells me that I need to push these two down with my right hand. And then on the back, there's a key that I need to press down for that. So it tells me that that's the fingering, and that that's what it'll play. So I keep all those fingers pressed down, and that's a B-flat. Reading music was actually probably one of the easiest things that I had to do during this project, because as you can see, it looks like these are the exact same scale, and they're on the exact same staff lines, and so it made it a lot easier for me to read. The only real different thing was that the bassoon was in bass clef and then the saxophone is in treble clef. This just means that this is lower and then this is higher. And then the other difference was the key signature. This had sharps and then this is two flats. And so that was really the only difference, and it just made it a lot easier for me to be able to read music because it is basically the exact same scale. I just had to learn different note names and a different key signature and remember what clef I was in. Scales are the next thing that you would learn really as a musician, and a scale is a succession of 8 notes, and they follow a pattern of steps, which is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, which means that it's a step in between notes, and that means what kind of pitch you go up. If you go up a whole pitch or if you only go up half pitch would be like a sharp or a flat. And so you learn there are 12 major scales. I know about half of them, but I'm only going to play the B flat and the F scale for today and for this video. So this is the B flat scale. Alright, and then the next is the F scale, which is about the second one you learn. The B flat's probably the first one that you would learn, and it goes. And then if you move on, you can learn more than one octave. Like the concert B flat that I played earlier was only 1 octave, and so now I'm going to play a 2 octave one. So then I moved on to learning actual music, and this was probably something that I was the most nervous about because it's really intimidating not only to learn scales and fingerings, but to try to go beyond and learn some more complex music. And I was thinking I was going to start off with something easy, but my advisor encouraged me to just kind of jump into the complex stuff because that would teach me the fastest. And that's how I learned that I'm really actually pretty good at learning while I'm doing an activity. And so he gave me a song called An Original Suite, which was something that we played at Concert Festival, and it is by Gordon Jacobs, and I was really intimidated when I first saw it, but it was really the piece that I really credit with being able to teach me basically everything that I need to know. I mean, I'm still not a master at the bassoon, but it definitely taught me basically like to develop my lower range and to go into the lower notes that I wouldn't have been able to before. But yeah, and so just I'm really glad that I tried to do more complex music. And so I'm going to play an excerpt of it. So enjoy. So at the end of this project, I was really glad that I did it and that I stuck to it, and I was able to accomplish my goal, which was one of my biggest things. And my goal was that I would play at Concert Festival, and I did, and we got a 2, which is the second highest rating that you can get, which is really awesome, and I was really proud to be a part of that and have only been playing for about 4 months, and which was just a really big accomplishment for me. And it was a really great thing for me to do this project because it helped me learn about myself as a learner, and then I can jump into things, and that's a better way for me to learn. And just also that now I have a new skill under my belt, which is really awesome. So I'm really glad that I did this project and that it turned out really well in the end.